the theme this year for International Women's Day 2026 is Give to Gain. And it's one that actually kind of maps perfectly to how this industry works. The smart home and integration space doesn't move forward because of a single product launch or a single trend cycle. It moves forward because people give their time, their experience, and their leadership, often long before there's a return. So today's conversation isn't about representation, headlines, it's about direction. I am Catherine Wheeler, partner and strategic director at TIC Global PR, and I am joined by the leaders who are helping shape where this industry goes next. So, with that said, I'd like to introduce you to the women who represent us on CEDIA's board this year. So, first up, I guess, is our chairperson, captain, Amanda Wildman. Amanda, can you introduce yourself to people?
Absolutely. My name is Amanda Wildman. I am the co-owner of True Media, an integration firm in Michigan that I own with my husband. Been in the industry for a little over 2 decades now, having a lot of fun with it, and I'm super excited to be joined by these other amazing women in the boardroom. It's been awesome to see. We've had change up, but ever since I've been involved in the boardroom, we've had additional women. I mean, we've had great leaders, Jamie, all sorts of, other people that have been, involved in it. So I'm just excited to be able to kind of continue on that story and that legacy and be supported by other women and see other more women coming up.
I love it. And Jen, we've never met before, so I'm happy to have you here. Can you introduce yourself to everybody?
We're even hiding. I don't know. Where have I been hiding?
I'm places. I am in places.
Apparently, I'm not in the right places. My name is Jen Mallett. I'm the founder and CEO of Level Up Automation. Much like Amanda, we're an integration company, and I've been in the industry for a couple decades too. It feels kind of crazy, and we love this industry, and we love women coming into the industry. I think it provides a lot of value. And welcome, Maryellen, to the board. We're excited.
Thank you so much.
So excited.
I'm really excited. Really excited to be here with you all. And yeah, so I guess I can go. I'm Maryellen Oswald. I work for Stompy, but I am also a newly appointed CEDIA board member. So I'm incredibly honored. I am excited. I've been ready for this for a very long time. So thank you, Kat.
This is very cool for me because I feel like if I need stuff done, like you guys are my people now. So I'm exceptionally excited about this. So in that vein, to just warm everybody up, I mean, I know you guys are pros, but still, I'd like to start us off with a little game. You guys know I like a little game. I have my scorecard here. And, not that there's a competition, but since it's International Women's Day, the name of the game is Man or Woman. And I'm going to talk about an innovation that directly impacts our industry. And you guys tell me if it was invented by a woman or a man. All right. No Googling.
No.
Ready?
Googling.
No one Googled before, right?
No.
No.
Good.
I looked at it and I was like, oh my gosh.
Okay. So woman or man, the foundational technology that makes Wi-Fi and wireless control systems possible.
I'm going to say woman.
Woman.
I'm going to say woman. We'll do woman and we'll do man. I'll let you know.
Everybody gets a point. That is true. That's actually Hedy Lamarr, the actress, if you guys remember her. The old Hollywood actress. Yeah.
Yeah, she was a spy, right?
I don't know if she was a spy, but she invented Wi-Fi, so Lord knows. The networking protocol that prevents broadcast storms and keeps networks stable.
Woman.
I'm going with a woman.
Woman.
That is right. You are all correct. Okay. The origins of software engineering.
That's a woman.
Woman.
That is correct.
I'm
up
out
points
because I couldn't say woman fast enough.
No, you're out, Maryellen? Okay. Okay. The invention that is the foundation of home security monitoring.
Woman.
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 That is correct. Kevlar. The invention that's like all of the stuff that shields all of the cables, so the infrastructure, cabling, and safety equipment.
It's probably a woman, I'm sure.
Yeah, let's just stick with a woman, yeah.
Yeah.
It is a woman.
I think I'm
I'm going to
noticing
say
a theme.
woman,
This
all
is,
of them. Yeah.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
this is a theme of all protection things. Like you
I'm
look at
just
this, and
gonna,
these
yeah.
are all.
Improvement. How can we
Yep.
make it better? Woman.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, you guys spoiled the game, but to finalize it, GPS, the first computer algorithm, and system debugging, all also invented by women.
Hmm.
So just
Yeah,
kind of
Very
wanted to
cool.
start us off there.
It's good to get the information out, so
just,
people know.
I just like to
Yeah.
make sure everybody knows who's really in charge.
You should totally share, like, because I didn't know some of those names, Kat, that you said. So, like, we should share this, like, this list, and we should share the names of the ladies that have done this, because
Yeah,
I didn't know some of those names. I think that's pretty cool.
I have it all, and I will share it with everybody.
Awesome. That'd be great.
And then I think as we get into our real topics of today, now that we've kind of set the bar, I chose this panel intentionally because Amanda, Maryellen, and Jen, you guys are the three currently serving women on our CEDIA board, and you are actively shaping the strategy of this industry. And so I think this is kind of an important thing to talk about and talk about where our industry and system integration is headed. So let's start by kind of grounding ourselves in where the industry is today. So Amanda, I'll start with you. When you look at this with smart home and integration and the whole industry right now, what feels stable, like really steady, and what kind of feels unsettled?
So I thought about this because my first initial reaction is to say people. And then I'm like, I know some of the people we work with, and I don't think we're all stable as individuals. However, what I think is stable about us is our passion, right? So I think that for me, like, that's like the thing is I'm forever impressed. I just came back from ISE in Barcelona, and I'm forever impressed about how everyone in this industry is so like passionate about it and so excited to continue to learn. Like, I think other industries, you see people and they get stagnant, they get bored, they kind of get burnout. But I think the stability that we have is kind of like one of our gifts. Yes, we're probably all slightly unstable people, but our passion for the industry, for me, feels very, very stable. And so to me, that just shows why we should have an integrator, why we need to have this industry, is because we're always kind of like looking for what's moving forward, and we're always working towards that. So to me, that's very, very stable, that people are not getting bored, they're keep moving forward, and that's pretty important to me.
I love that answer. Wasn't what I was thinking, but people is the best answer, I think. Maryellen, where do you think integrators are misreading the market or holding on to assumptions that like no longer apply?
So interesting because I'm with two integrators. So no judgment. No.
But you meet a lot of integrators, and so you talk to a lot of, you see a lot of things out there in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I do. I think, working in silos, I think that those integrators that work with those partners, like designers, architects, builders, other trades, are winning. And you still have those that, they're trying to get that seat at the table, but then they're like, they go off on their own, try to get the job anyway. And I think the second thing also is homeowners underestimating what homeowners actually know and what they really truly want. And just getting an understanding of their knowledge of technology.
Yes, that is a good point. And Jen, what has become more complex in this industry than people maybe expected it to be 5 years ago? What are the challenges you're out there running into that no one saw coming?
Yeah, I mean, I think, what people expect, right, is simplicity in technology and as it advances. Yet simplicity in control or explanation or whatever the case may be around it is, of course, still very complex, which is why integrators in our industry is so important to really help people understand what to pay attention to. I think the other things that, have changed quite a bit, and we've talked about it, is AI. And is that going to make life easier, or is it going to make it more complex? And it probably will do both. And by the time we figure it out, it'll probably change. So I think that the consistency is that consumers and end users want simplicity in whatever they have. No one asks for something complicated. right, at all. They want technology to solve problems. Whether or not AI or the industry gets to a place where we really have simple things or things just work without us even telling or doing anything, right? Let's hope that it gets
We can
there.
all
That's
hope.
true automation is when it knows you better than you. But I think that that's the stuff that's really complex and probably is going to get a bit more complex before it gets simple.
I love it. Okay. Well, we've kind of set the baseline. So let's look ahead a little bit, and not in like a vague failure of tech terms, but in ways that change how integrators operate. So Amanda, you're an integrator. How do you expect, since Jen brought it up, AI to affect system design, support, client expectations, and all those kinds of things over the next few years?
Well, one, I think that you're not just going to be able to wing it anymore. I think there are people out there genuinely that have like just kind of like thrown spaghetti at the wall and just kind of like, whatever. It's going to be much more, process driven. There's no more excuses, right? Like, I think, previously you might have had integrators that kind of came out and they kind of stumbled into this career. They stumbled into writing their first proposal, kind of like putting things together. You could kind of like, hey, I was referred by a friend, and like that's how you built your business. And that's great. And that worked for a lot of people for a very long time. But now, like, there's this different level of professionalism because there's no excuse. Like, you don't need to hire someone on staff that's like, a professional at like, English grammar to like write all your contracts and write all of your stuff. I mean, you can literally just put it in AI. And like, that was the talk of, everything going on at ISE. I mean, I even was in a class, with Alex Capislatra about AI, and like, I brought some of my perspectives of tools that I'm using every single day to like help with the interview process, help with, creating documents, help with creating processes. And when you can do that stuff in like just a couple seconds, it levels everything up. And I think that that's where it's going to be important. You can't just kind of like wing it anymore. I mean, one of the suggestions that we had is, how you've got the AI note takers. So have an AI note taker recording your interview when you're interviewing someone. You can input, like, this is the criteria that I need for the job. Here's the interview. Please help me to evaluate what you think if this person would be a good fit for that job or that position. That's kind of crazy to think about, right? Like, So they're going to search all of this information, on the internet, like what would be a good criteria for that particular job position? How do those people answer those questions? You can have them critique and help you write a script so that you know what are good questions to ask for the results and stuff that I want. So like, it's just going to be this whole like leveling up type thing. And that's just dealing with like staff and employees. But then clients on the other end, like, that they're asking, like, what do I need in a cinema room if I'm doing a cinema room? AI is giving them back an answer. So like, two things. One, you can't BS stuff anymore because they're going to get something out there on the internet, right? And through AI. But the other piece of it, and this is where I think, CEDIA plays a vital role, is getting out our white papers, getting out our documents, getting out our things like that. If we don't have that stuff existing on the internet and have that research out there, then CEDIA and integrators are not being part of the conversation. So to me, it's part of the reason too, it's so important for people to volunteer and get involved in CEDIA so that we can get that information out there so that when AI is pulling that research and pulling that information, we are part of the conversation that's being developed through everything with AI. So I hope that kind of answers your question.
No, it did. I think the smartest thing you said anymore was you can't just wing it. You can't just kind of like half-ass stuff anymore. People have a different expectation level than they used to because of the tools and resources that they use in their jobs and their day-to-day that they expect you to be able to use as well. So very cool. Jen, are clients still chasing features, or are they prioritizing reliability, service, long-term performance?
I think most people are over the whiz bang, oh my goodness, parlor trick of what can happen, and are really looking for reliability. And I think as an industry, it's important, and integrators within the industry building systems that are reliable are what people want the most. So some of what we think about when we look at even like appliances in our house, right? People didn't have dishwashers 100 years ago. You washed your dishes. Hopefully you had running water. You might not have had plumbing, right? So, you have a home, you're generally, unless things are frozen. If I'm from Boston, right, that could happen, or something else is going on. Your plumbing just works. Your dishwasher, now, when it gets too technical and you've got too many buttons, that's when it gets complicated and it might not work, right? There's the thing. But
Operator error.
yeah, but like if it works, that's I think what people are expecting with their lighting control systems, their smart technology. That is the expectation, is simplicity and reliability. And until that automation system is as simple and reliable as your plumbing, as your electricity, we'll still be chasing it.
Agreed. Yeah. Maryellen, do you see the industry heading towards consolidation or specialization, like not being so broad anymore, being, I don't know, as we see other verticals kind of get a little more into our industry, do you see us kind of changing?
So I think it's a blend of both. I think it's a mixture of consolidation and specialization. And the reason why I say that is because from the vendor level, from the manufacturer level, you see these all these companies, picking it up and acquiring or even partnering together so that everything's under one brand. Well, what does that do for you? One, it puts everything, all in one portal or what you have. But the second thing it does is what about the jobs and things like that? However, you're seeing it more, I think, on the integrator side, where you're seeing them kind of partner up together so they have a larger footprint and they're being more specialized in the services that they're offering. So I think we're going to see a little bit more of that. I mean, it's been happening. I think we'll see it continue to happen.
I can appreciate that. I think the evolution is just kind of starting as we see those kind of M&A things happen as we go. Now, this one's for all of you guys, and if you don't have an answer, that's okay. I'm sure one of you does. But as we're just getting into 2026 and we're starting off the year, what is the one buzzword in this industry that you could stand to lose and never hear again?
AI. No, I'm just kidding.
Good luck on that one, Maryellen.
I'm kidding.
I think that one's around for a minute. As long as we don't go out and say it starts with A and it ends with I. Buzzword.
Tariffs.
Yeah, tariffs. That would be the one to be go away.
That's the one. Okay.
Yeah.
Solid. Well, now let's talk a little bit about the other side of the coin, because technology is only half of the story in our channel. Technology is a big part of it, but business is the other side, and it's kind of shifting too. So, Jen, where do you see the next generation of integrators coming from?
Yeah, it's a great question, and we need lots of them.
Yes, we do.
I think that the key to any industry that is smaller and growing and hitting a maturity mark. Small businesses. I mean, small businesses pretty much, even though we've got big tech giants, right, run our economy. And it's small business owners who are bringing in people that maybe don't have certifications and criteria and mentoring and apprenticing them in this, what is this trade? So I think that small businesses are where it's happening. I can speak with our business. We've got interns that are, essentially apprenticing, that are juniors and seniors in high school, and they love it. And they get out of high school and they want to be in this industry. They see it. They see, we share the CEDIA website. We share things that are, educational, and they're like, wow, this is amazing. So I think that's big. And then I think some of the things that CEDIA, as our nonprofit organization, has done in the last couple of years around Next Gen, which are just, initiatives that are just getting started. And I think I'm really excited as Amanda chairs our organization, what's going to happen with, all of the workforce development stuff that's really needed for that next generation to help those small business owners get people into the pipeline.
I love it. I can't wait to see all the new people coming up. We all sit here on this podcast and get on and say, I've been doing this for 20 years, which scares the crap out of me because I'm pretty sure I'm not that old, but I can't wait to see the next gen come up and start saying that. Maryellen, when you look 5 years out from now, how critical do you think for a dealer service contracts and recurring revenue are to their long-term viability?
Well, I think everybody would agree that service contracts are king. Companies who do this now have positioned themselves as, a trusted technology partner. We know what the benefits are, cash flow between projects, better system performance, fewer late night calls, happier customers. I mean, I can go on, et cetera, et cetera. And I think there's also various types. Some offer, premium white glove service, whereas others offer, like a basic check-in every so many months. Those types of service models are important as well. But having that regular touch point with their client is an invaluable service. It also sets them up to upsell, if they see an opportunity, but also maintain a level of professionalism that consumers are willing to pay for, so that they can live in their space the way it was intended.
Agreed. Spot on. I think we're only going to see it grow over the next couple of years. If you're not doing it out there, everybody should be. Amanda, certifications. How important for AV integrators is it to have certifications for, brands or products or industry-wide certifications?
Well, one, of course, that's near and dear to my heart. I was part of CEDIA certification when we started developing the new CIT and IST, of course. But I want to point out something kind of unique, like on this call, actually, and these three women here that are like representing CEDIA board. Not everybody who's listening might not know this, but we're also all moms. And we're also all moms of this next generation that's coming up, right? So like Maryellen and my kids are kind of like a little bit older. I think Jen's are just slightly younger. I think they branch like kind of overlap my son, kind of like right in between there. And so I think, from both a mom perspective, but also from an industry perspective, is we're all of that age of like, okay, are our kids going into the military? Are they going into college and workforce? What happens after high school? And so like, we're helping to shape this through certification. So like, we're looking at this through a lens too of like, how can we talk about this to like other moms and other people in the industry? Because I think for a while, like at least when I went to school, it was like, if you were going to be successful in life, you were going to go to college, and a lot of people in this industry didn't do that, right? We're the industry of the people that still manage to be successful, perhaps without going to college. Now, as businesses grow and as businesses mature, we're seeing maybe some cracks in that, where some of our integrators and small businesses could benefit from having more business courses, maybe some more things that they would have learned, like accounting and things like that in school. So CEDIA is trying to like step up and help fill that gap. But also, as we look at these certifications, it really is creating a pathway for students to be able to get in, for guidance counselors to be able to support us, to legitimize like who we are as an industry, and to say, look, not only is this important, but this is also another legitimate pathway. I mean, CEDIA, we just won. I'm totally going to miss the name of it. What was the name of the bill, Jen? I'm probably putting you on the spot, but the bill that we just passed when we went to the Capitol Hill Day, 50 something. I can't remember. That's terrible. We'll write it in the chat. But we went to the Hill. I don't remember numbers. That's not my thing. But when we went to the Hill, one of the things that we were fighting for is to allow people that savings plan where when grandparents or parents, put the savings money away for college, we wanted people to be able to use it for trade schools and for certification. So CEDIA helped fight for that, and it did pass. So now this is showing like another legitimate way for people to get into the industry. But all those pieces have to play together. And those are things that like an integrator can't do on their own, that CEDIA as an association helps to support the integrators out there. So when you see that kind of like trickle down effect, now these kids coming out of school are able to use their funds and maybe say, college might not be a pathway for me. Maybe I do want to go in and just earn some certifications and get a pathway. So it's very important that we have it. And it's very important that we support it as an industry. And I think you're going to see more and more people, even young people going out and doing that. And at ISE, we had, this is kind of a hot topic right now, but this gentleman named Nathan Jones, he actually works now for James Radcliffe, another member of the CEDIA board at Home Play. And he shared his story at ISE. They have a whole career day there. So they had like over 200 students that come in, and you want to talk about an amazing experience. I mean, these kids' eyes are like bugging out of their heads. They're like, wait a minute, like I could do this as a career. Like, how cool is this? And if you remember your first trade show, walking in and being so amazed, I mean, imagine seeing 200 students see that. And, he shared his story. He did an apprenticeship program through CEDIA, through the UK. He got involved in it. He went to the CEDIA website. He, Googled and looked up, integrators in his area, sent out some emails. James followed up with him. James didn't have a position immediately, but they stayed in touch. And he said, he just appreciated, Nathan's effort to try to go out there, try to forge his own pathway. And before long, James had a position and he called him back up and hired him. And now he's been there 6 months. And it's like, to Jen's point of it's all about the small business owner, like it's James, a small company, a small business owner that went out there, took a chance on a kid that had this certification, that did this apprentice program, that CEDIA, the association, set up. And that's how you just kind of like get this thing moving. And as you see that more and more and more, and we hear more and more of those stories, that's how we create a movement. And that's where it starts. It starts, like Jen said, with that small little guy, the mom and pop shop, the small person willing to take the chance, but also having the backing and the support of the association with the training programs, the education, the certification to be able to help that process and just really start building that snowball.
Oh, now we just got to make it repeatable. We just got to get everybody out there doing it.
Okay. There are a lot of them out there.
We just need more. Okay. So this one's for everybody too. And you don't have to tell on yourself. So if you don't want to answer, I understand. But what is the most overrated feature in a smart home system?
The most overrated. Okay. Can I just say it because you're getting ready to go KBiz? Like, yeah. I don't want to see 10,000 smart toilets. Like, every designer is going to come home from KBiz and they're going to talk about smart toilets. And I'm like, I just don't know that I want anybody out there to be able to analyze everything that's happening in the bathroom. Is like not the place I want to start when it comes to like smart homes. Like, so I think that that's overrated. Like, I'm all in on the lights. I'm all in on the shading. I get all of that. That changes my life. And I get that there's going to be doctors out there that are going to say this and that, and they're going to sell a lot of smart toilets at KBiz, and designers are all going to come home and have a blog about it. But no, no.
I don't get the remote garage door.
Really?
I don't know why I need that.
Really?
I don't know what that's for. There's a door by the garage. It has a smart lock on it. Why can't you just go in there and click the button? There's also a panel outside the garage. I can key in a code. Like, what is I don't know.
Kat's not getting like enough really big deliveries. You need big deliveries, Kat, and then you'll appreciate that remote garage.
You also sound like somebody who maybe doesn't leave their garage open all night long. Like,
true.
Or maybe
like
have valuable stuff in your garage.
Yeah. So,
for those people, but I'm so OCD. I check my garage like 15 times. I'm like, did I shut it? Also, my neighbor and I have this thing with each other. Like, he'll text me sometimes and be like, I don't know if I shut my garage, and I'll scurry over and check for him. And he does the same for me.
There you go.
We have a system. Yeah. Okay, now that we put that out there, I want to talk a little bit about the theme this year, because I think it really ties into what we do. But the theme of International Women's Day this year is give to gain. So volunteerism, leadership, that whole ecosystem. And I think CEDIA, as it's fundamentally like a nonprofit, volunteer-driven organization, none of this works without people choosing to give their time and their expertise back to the industry. So, Amanda, I know, this has been a big part of your life and your career. What motivated you to step in to volunteer at this level?
Well, I will say my husband says he thinks I'm a professional volunteer. And I think once you kind of like drink the Kool-Aid, right, and you get sucked in, like it kind of has a tendency to feel that way a little bit. But I said it to somebody else earlier this week, as I said, I think it's the cheat code. For me, I got involved in this industry a little bit later. And, this industry, there's a lot of knowledge. It's very fast paced. A lot of things are moving. You got to know a lot of stuff. I mean, when you sit back, if you actually sat down and like really wrote down the things that you're an expert on or that you're knowledgeable on, like the systems that we have, the different, manufacturers, the different how things work together, how different system, like how does everything work on iOS? How does everything work on Android? How does this lighting system work with that? How does that work with this? If we actually sat down and did it, like it's drinking from a fire hose. There's so much stuff. And for me, I just think volunteering is the cheat code, right? Because like I got involved in some groups, I volunteered. I'm the first to profess I'm not the smartest person ever, nor will I ever be in the room with all of those volunteers. But I got to be in the room with those volunteers, and I will tell you, like, I was a sponge, and I'm still a sponge, and I'm still sucking up the knowledge and the expertise. So to me, that's like, it's a cheat code. Like, I feel like you get so much more out of volunteering than you really give. I mean, I've built relationships off of it. I've gotten knowledge off of it. I've gotten some of my best friends because of it. How cool is it? Like, you have a client and you can say, like, I'm in Michigan, right? And so we've got people that are like snowbirds. So they go to Florida, they go to, Arizona, someplace else. My company, that's not our business model. I don't travel there. But when I can say, hey, I know this other person or this other integrator, and I know like their work ethic and who they are because they volunteer, they give back, they've got the same ethos and, thought process for the bigger picture like me. I know they'll take good care of you. Like, that's cool. When you can do that. And that to me is like being best in class for all of your clients as well. And you look at like Jen's business model. I mean, she has businesses with Level Up all over the place. So it's like, I know that I can call her and I can say, hey, Jen, I have someone or whatever in this area. And I know she's being super humble, but she didn't even brag about like all of her background with like Bose and market research. Like, if there's one thing about Jen that I'm going to learn for the rest of my life is like, she is so gifted in understanding like market research and like all of this stuff and all of these processes. Like, just being on the board with her for the last couple of years, like I've learned so much from that like I can now kind of take back and implement into my business, be a better business owner, be a better integrator, all of those things. So you only get that through volunteering.
That's
You
so nice.
said something
Am I
in that.
Yeah. I might be.
A little bit.
Thank you.
Well, genuinely, I've learned a ton from you, Jen. I'm serious.
Same, and we're so fortunate that we have the opportunity to be able to learn from each other and the different experiences that we've had, to Amanda's, point about like how diverse our industry is, and everybody's got a different perspective, and no one can know everything. Right. And
yeah, no, you said something that really kind of stuck with me too, Amanda. And I think about this from my like early days in the industry when I was really young, is that it's hard to get in the room sometimes. Yeah. Like it's hard to get in a room with people. And so volunteering lets you get a lot of face time and in front of a lot of people that can really help you on your journey. Maryellen, volunteering has been a huge part of your career as well. So what do you think the industry as a whole gains when experienced professionals choose to volunteer instead of, just being, stuck and focusing on their own businesses?
Yeah, without having to echo both Jen and Amanda, volunteering your time is the best way of giving back to the industry, period. It fosters industry cooperation, personal and professional growth. It expands your industry visibility, and I think it also gives you the opportunity to share the voice of the industry, not your personal voice or your personal opinion, but the voice of the industry. So you're like Amanda said, you're working in a room with a lot of smart people, and you're helping to shape the future of our industry. Who wouldn't want to do that?
Yeah, I never want to be the smartest person in the room. So I can only be so fortunate to sit in rooms, even virtual ones like this, with people and learn from them. I think that's the gift that keeps giving. Okay. Look, I want to kind of pull on that a little bit more and get a little bit more into like leadership, because I think, being in the room and being around those people that make decisions and standards and what the board's role in is all that for, our industry. So, Jen, as systems increasingly overlap with other industries like IT, security, energy is a big thing now. How should our standards evolve?
Oh, goodness. I think they're going to...
It's a tough question, I'm sorry.
That's a giant, right.
There's a lot to unpack in that.
I'll share what I think is important as they evolve. I think certainly there's been a lot of conversation and exposure around cybersecurity. So I think, as the industry kind of comes together, we have security, we've got power, we've got integrators, right? Making sure that there is one standard for cybersecurity that both is on the residential side and then the small to medium business side, which is another kind of very close industry to residential, right? A lot of integrators will, essentially be in both of those businesses. So I think having that standard is really important. I think continuing standards around privacy is really important, and how we handle people's data and what we know. We know that data is more and more prevalent and accessible, and that it can be dangerous. So I think from a protection perspective, I think that those are two of the bigger standards that I'm looking forward to seeing. How does that happen? And I think it's got to happen not just from one organization, right? To your point earlier, we're larger than just this industry, and we have intersection points. So that work that's being done, I think, is important for standards. And then, certainly Amanda, talked about certification and the standards for our industry, and making sure that, in the coming years that we actually have a certified trade that is an authority, to her point. And I think we only do that through actually having standards, right?
Agreed. And security is my biggest thing. And because I don't understand why we all don't have a heist crew. Like, I feel like there's a huge missed opportunity out there for us, and no one is on board with me. So, it's whatever, it's fine. Maryellen, when we talk about our industry and strategic leadership from our industry, what are the biggest education and skills gaps that concern you? And if you could if you could mandate like one course that every integrator must take, or one thing they all have to know, what that would be.
Okay, one thing. Well, I had several.
Okay. Well, you can give us more than one. That's okay. I just no pressure.
Well, first of all, I think the biggest gap we're facing isn't hardware. I think it's talent, and it's talent that can connect IT networking. I mean, I've been talking to so many different people recently, and it's like now when you first went in and you talked to the homeowner about what was the expectation, it was control system. What do you want to control? How do you want to live in your space? Now it's about how strong is this network going to be? How reliable is it going to be? So that would be probably my number one thing where we can really expand education. Also software-driven platforms and client relationships. And what I mean about that is, as projects become more IP-based and commercial in nature, at the same time, we need to move faster on training around cybersecurity, which is what we're talking about, project management, sustainability, and leadership. So we're not just building, the next great technician, but the next generation of industry leaders.
Oh, spot on. That is a great point. And I want to kind of open this up to all of you, because if I want to know the answer to this one, you're the people to ask. What is the responsibility of a trade association? What is your responsibility to the community?
I think the biggest thing is making people aware. I just, to kind of echo and piggyback off of, Maryellen's thing, we're always trying to fight for a seat at the table. We've never lived in a time where our seat at the table has been more important. It scares the bejeepers out of me what people are going to be able to have access to, and how many consumers out there just willy-nilly, like they buy a new product from, a Home Depot or a Best Buy or off of Amazon, and they have no idea. They just get it home. They're like kids at Christmas. They're so excited. They plug it in. They know, okay, I got to get it power. Now I got a QR code, scan it or whatever to get it on my network. And they're putting all of this stuff on their network, and they have no idea what is going on and what is going to happen. And it's like, those of us that do know, like, we're kind of a little freaked out. Like, I don't know about you guys, but like, I'm a little freaked out about, what people are going to be able to have access to. And like, I'm really rethinking even some of the things, that we sell, or some of the things that we carry. Like, I want to be so responsible with really talking to people about what are they trading off as far as privacy, as far as, things about themselves for convenience, because there's always kind of like that give and take balance, you know? And, you know, I'll be the first to admit, I said, you know, we're all moms on here and we're all guilty of it. But like, I've been sharing pictures of my kids for years, right, on the internet. And now I'm starting to see some of this stuff. Like, it freaks me out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, how much data have I provided as a mom, not thinking of it? And like, what are my responsibilities to like talk to other moms, to talk to other business owners, to be cognizant of what are we so freely sharing out there with people? What are we so freely putting on our network? And I mean, it is kind of a scary thing. And that's where integrators like we, and even as an association, to Jen's point of, you know, making sure that we have standards, making sure that we have things when we're discussing cybersecurity, that we're doing things to make sure that we're keeping that as safe as possible. It's never going to be able to be perfect. You're always going to have people that are malicious out there and people with nefarious thoughts and things that they're going to do wrong and stuff with the internet. But we kind of get to be the superheroes. We get to be the good guys. We get to be, you know, the ones that go out there and we fight for what's right, you know, and we fight to be able to like keep people safe. So there's never been a stronger case, I don't think, to have an integrator have a seat at a table. And if there's a designer, an architect, or a builder out there that is not working with an integrator, like, shame on you. Like, you guys know. And if you don't, like, just bring in an integrator and have them audit your own stuff. Like, you'll be freaked out and you'll want us at the table. But it comes with a lot of responsibility too, you know? We have to work together as an association. We have to have the education. We got to make sure that we're at the table, that we're part of the conversation, that we're developing the standards, we're developing the education.
Love it.
Just to jump on top of what she said, what Amanda said is, you know, I spent a lot of time, as you know, in my connected design days, in the interior designer, architect, builder world, spent more time there than I did in our own industry for a little while, just to learn and hear their stories and see how they do what they do. And integrators do have a seat at the table, especially today, especially when that network goes down, especially if something's broken or fixed. They're not going to call the other trades. They're going to speed dial you. You're going to be the first phone call. And I think that they're starting to realize that, hey, I'm coming into this project. Let me call my guy or let me call my girl, because this project went so successful. I want another experience like that for my customer. So you have a seat at the table.
I mean, we could all use more seats at more tables, but that's debatable. Okay, and my for the group question is also this: what is one industry habit that we need to break immediately? I know.
Oh,
I had hard questions today.
Habit. You do.
Acronyms.
Acronyms.
Talk to
Yes.
ourselves.
Acronym.
Talking to engineers like we talk to ourselves. That
we've
is
got to remember. Yeah, we've got to remember.
That is my pet peeve.
Yeah, you know, to translate, we need to like translate. Even, you know, when we talk about CEDIA, right? You know, the Custom Electronics Installation Design Association, right? It's like, you know, we need to be able to translate to other people, because we forget that like we're in this this family, and we just kind of think that everybody's there. But
all right, Jen, Mitchell is out.
Or
yeah, you are my new best friend, because this is literally like my personal mission in life, is to teach people how to translate and not talk to other people like we talk to ourselves. No one has any idea what we're talking about. Like,
none.
Hey, we have to tell stories. We get yes.
Yeah, we have to be better. We have to be better storytellers. I think, you know, that's so true, because like, you know, we're getting really good at being able to identify things right away, and we can be like, oh yeah, that was written by AI, because like the certain way that it talks. We do that same thing within the industry. So to Jen's point, like the acronyms and the way that we speak, we need to like look at how we're doing that, and we need to like translate that down, like translate that to every day, and like have conversations. When my grandma was still living, she passed away a couple of years ago now, but she was always my favorite. I was like, if I can't explain technology to her in a way that she can understand it, like, there's a problem. And so now my mom is that person for me. And I'm like, I will call her up because she's admittedly is totally not a techie person. But like, if I've got a big presentation, I'm like, Mom, can I like role play? Can I give you this presentation first? If she can walk away and she can feel like she understood it, okay, then I'm on the right track. And so I think that, to Jen's point, we have to do that. Take out the acronyms, make sure we're telling good stories with it, make sure that we're relatable, and that we can, people can understand us for sure.
You mentioned that we're moms, and I
am not a mom.
Okay. You don't have to be a mom, but you could be a mom. No, you're a sister, your daughter.
Yes.
Your cousin. Okay. And we're all in tech. And I would always tell my kids, like, what is it that I do? What do I do? What does mom do for a living? You write magazines, you publish magazines, you write articles. What do I write articles about? What industry do I work in? I don't know, speakers. Like, and it doesn't matter how many conversations I've had about my day or about a project or about a house I visited or a new technology, a new product announcement. And I share it with my family because I'm very passionate, as you guys know.
Yeah.
And they can't get it. Like, that's a problem.
My dad thinks I sell TVs out of an apartment.
That's awesome.
That's a good one.
Legitimately what he thinks I do for a living. I'm not kidding.
That's a good one.
All right. As we wind things down, I want to do a little bit of a rapid fire. So 1-sentence answers, if you can. I know it's hard, but let's keep them short. Jen, what genuinely makes you optimistic about where the industry's headed?
The light in the next generation's eyes at what we do. The light. They are.
I love it.
Love it. Like it's
love
a
it.
human.
It is really inspiring when I meet young people that are doing. I say, God, we're so old. When I meet new people to our industry who are very excited about what we do and they share our passion, I love that. Maryellen, I said my hill to die on was, language and how we talk to people. What's the hill you're willing to die on in this industry?
That technology is a premium offer and that only certain people can afford it. Not true.
Such a good one. That's a great one. I love that.
I'm going to do that. All right, Amanda. I'm going to die on it with you. Amanda, what's the one thing integrators should start doing now that they're probably not?
I mean, I'm going to be selfish and I'm going to say, learn what your association's doing for you. Get involved, volunteer. I mean, genuinely, Jen, like you were newer, right? Like and we sucked you in, you're in the board and stuff right now. Even in that short time, has it not changed your business?
Oh yeah.
Like,
absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's that's what you got to do now. Like, use the tools, use the resources, get sucked in and watch it grow your business, watch it change your business.
Solid. Well, I want to say thank you, Amanda, Maryellen, and Jen, for joining me and for the leadership that you're bringing to our industry. You're spending a lot of your time and energy and resources to kind of drive this business forward. And thank you from everyone. I'll just speak for everybody. But conversations like this matter because they move us beyond trends and we get to learn a little bit more about the direction it's handling. So I wanted all of you to have an opportunity to tell people where they can find you if they want to continue this conversation. So Amanda, where can people find you?
Well, for my business, you'll see me everywhere online as True Media Home, no E in the True. But I've just relaunched for all of my CEDIA stuff that I'm going around and doing with CEDIA is True Tech Talk. It's an old blog and an old social media that I had. Sometimes my clients don't necessarily care what I'm doing in the CEDIA channel. So I'd say if you're in the CEDIA channel and you want to know what I'm doing with CEDIA with these awesome ladies on the board and other board kind of things, go find me there as well. So True Tech Talk is where you can find me. Jen, where can people find you?
Yeah, people can find me at levelupautomation.com. And, I love to connect with people via LinkedIn. Any of the conferences or expos, I'll probably be there, but I love to, work with other people in the industry and meet with other people in the industry. So I'd say those two spots would be a good place to start.
And Maryellen, I know that it's your mission every year to meet a certain number of new people. So how can those people reach out and meet you?
Oh, I would love to meet more people. It's my mission. LinkedIn. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can message me, send me a connect request, and you got it. Or if you're at an event and Somfy is there, you can find me through Somfy, or just ask anybody. Do you know Maryellen? Yeah. And then you'll get my cell number and you can call me.
Everybody knows Maryellen.
Mio. All of us, we all call her Mio. Do you know
and
for
that's
the longest time?
acronym that will stay. Okay.
Yes, that's
Mio.
the one that we're allowed to say. Mio.
Yeah, we all know.
Mio. Mm-hmm.
Well, I hope something in today's discussion sparked some thought, challenged some assumptions, and made people out there think about where this industry is headed. So we'd love to hear about it. Drop a comment, share the episode with your team, and let's kind of keep this conversation going. The industry grows when we engage with it, not just when we watch it. So thanks everybody for joining us today.
Good point.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everyone.
Kat.
Thanks, Kat.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.